I'm the one, not the two, I won't say it again.
Yo, what's up, YouTube squad? It's your man Olafome, aka MasterZedX, aka you know the rest. Thank you for the support on the last video. I said I was gonna make another video, and that's what I'm doing right here. I've been streaming a lot of this game, really for real, on twitch.tv/MasterZedX. You can see the link on the video on right there, somewhere right there, and you can find the links below. But today I'm bringing you an Umbra guide. This is a ranged characters, like a bow archer guide. So, you know, if you're interested in that, this is the one for you. Umbra is another one of those drifters that I talked about in my last video. You gotta buy her. She's a champion or a character or whatever that you can play. You can add her to your loadout. You can maximize three drifters in your loadout, right? I showed you guys all that in the last video. But yeah, so basically the guide is full build is Predator bow, Stormcaller's hood, retaliation coat, Swift stride boots. Now I know that you can't have the same equipment on two of your loadouts. Like you can't wear the same copy of your equipment on different drifters. But this is the best for her. If you can't wear these, if you can't, the next substitute would probably be the stealth boots. But yeah, so basically this is the map to get in this build. You know, the bow is over here. Go from this bow to this bow and just maximizing that, right? And then the armor is all agility, so you just go into agility skill tree or map tree or whatever, and you just find the hood there. This is also a good alternative, but again, you can't wear the same armor on multiple drifters, so it's up to you how you want to do it. But I say this is the optimal because I've tried it and it works really well in group PvP, and I'll discuss that in this video. So this retaliation coat, all of that, and this would be the substitute, or right here, shade veil slippers. This would be the substitute if you wanted to wear this on another drifter and then wear this on this drifter. This offers 30% movement speed, enter stealth after 1 second, and you gain 60% movement speed. And obviously obvious stealth rules. Using the skill dealing damage or taking damage will break stealth, or actually receiving healing also breaks stealth, so that's a little weird. I haven't seen that one. Being healed reveals stealth. That's interesting, right? But so that would be the best alternative. The other ones are good, but they don't really provide the real type of things you would need for ranged characters. So moving on. I mean, wait, Cyclone is cool because of the attack speed increase and the casting speed and movement speed, but like that's an alternative. It's actually pretty decent looking at it. This is a good alternative. I'm just looking at it now. It's a good alternative as well because it has attack speed on it, casting speed, and movement speed, but it lasts for 5 seconds. All right, compared to Swift stride boots, which also lasts for 5 seconds. This is all starting to seem interesting. Well, this might be a good alternative then. Whirlwind boots are decent, right? Moving on. That's just the boots. It's not that deep. It's only as deep as you want it to be, right? Moving on. So the bow build goes is this. You will be starting with your auto attack basic skills will be starting with split arrow. Split arrow damages up to 5 enemies in a frontal cone. It actually has a decent range, about 14 meters. So I mean, I can show you in action here. See how it splits. Right, so split arrow. Next, actually, so why Umbra's ranged build is so good is that all her skills are versatile and you can use all of them at all times. Every single one of these skills are good. I can't tell you which one is the right skill to use because you're gonna be switching them up based on the situation. I like Blast Arrow a lot because it has the lowest cooldown. And then I also like Frost Arrow during like PvP because it offers slow. I also like Binding Arrow, but my thing with Binding Arrow and Sleeper Arrow and Silencing Arrow is they're all skill shots. So it's situational. But with Blast Arrow and Frost Arrow, they're both like synergizing with your basic attack type of gameplay, right? So next I'll show you the passive and the alt on the Predator split bow that is part of this build. So the alt on the Predator split bow is Splinter Shot. Gains 18 Splinter Shot, 30 attack speed for 20 seconds. Basic attacks fire 2 additional arrows in addition to the basic attack, each dealing 68 magic damage added to it. Like, this shit is insane, right? Like, so I'll explain how it all works with the build, but it's an amazing skill, and the cooldown on it is 19 seconds. Like, cooldowns are so important in games like this because it's situational and every situation changes. You know, situations are conditional, right? So it's like you're constantly on the move, especially in like open world PvP. And then the passive is Target Mark. When using weapon skills or basic attacks to deal damage, apply an additional target mark to the target for 8 seconds. Da 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 da. Target mark is activated and fires a tracking arrow when stacked to 5 layers, dealing 205 physical damage to the target, applying slow for 2 seconds. Now you see how this all works, right? Like, all of these synergize. Applies a slow for 2 seconds. You gain movement speed for 2 seconds. Increases the range for the next basic attacks by 3 meters for 6 seconds. It really works really well in open world PvP and group PvP. Damage is affected by basic attack damage boost and can be crit based on basic attack crit rate. Removes target mark after triggering. Alright. So that's the skills on the bow. The helmet, we have Electrified Strike. It's a passive skill, so you don't have to worry about activating it. It's just going to activate on its own, and it's when using a basic attack. Again, the next 5 basic attacks within 8 seconds cast additional lightning onto enemies. And you saw how I used my first split arrow. It spreads to other enemies, so this synergizes with that. Upon hitting it, automatically ricochets to the nearest targets up to 5 times, dealing 135 damage per hit. Damage is influenced by basic attack damage boost and can crit basic attack critical rate, right? The cooldown on this is 30 seconds. So like every group fight, you're gonna get a burst. Compared to wearing the other helmet that I was talking about, which is also nice, but it's just not as group oriented. This is more single target oriented, where you get an increased critical rate, increased attack speed, and the cooldown on it is 25 seconds, right? But that's more single target based. Alright, well, next is Retaliation Coat. Retaliation Coat is great. I love it because it's really good defensively. When you start taking damage, you put on this resistance armor, and you resist armor by 30% for 6 seconds, and it also reflects 100% of the damage taken as magic damage. So not only are you reflecting damage, you're also getting reduced damage, right? So your range, you're gonna get fucked up. Next is Swift Stride boots, and we saw just now in my new in my research that there's an alternative, and it's actually a good alternative for group play. Those Cyclone boots, those Whirlwind boots, I believe they're called. But we're gonna talk about what this build has to offer, and that is it increases the movement speed by 60% and attack speed by 35%. So bread and butter, you know, goes together like it's supposed to. You know, we're not gonna really talk too much about that because it's just synergy. But just to go back to what we found, I just accidentally overdrive. It's fine. Um, where what we're talking about just now, the other alternative would be these whirlwind boots with cyclone, where it increases attack speed by only 25% and the casting speed by 30% and movement speed by 30%, but it's for nearby allies. So it's like everybody around you. It doesn't say a limit to how many people. It says nearby allies. So, and it's a 7-meter cast range. Pretty nice. It's a good alternative if you want to keep these boots on another character and you want to switch to these. And I might actually, try it out myself. But so yeah, so that's the build, and I'll show you now how it works together. We're gonna go with exploding or blast arrow for this test, right? So when you're engaging with anything, just expect that you're gonna do the most damage with this build. I've noticed that in every single encounter I've had, PVE, PVE wise, obviously, right? I pull the boss, I pull the bosses, I pull the mobs. It doesn't matter how many people are there, you're gonna get aggro because you're just doing so much damage. So you gotta know how to de-aggro, and that's where Umbra's skill comes in, her actual like character skill and why she works well with this build. So Umbra has an ult where she expands the center and she gains a dash. So I'll read it here. Expands an area centered on the caster lasting 20 seconds. So this is a 20-second ult, and the cooldown on it is 38 seconds. So you get 18 seconds of differential to reload, right? 463 damage to anyone that's in front of it when the ult pops off. You're not really ever gonna use it like that because you're gonna use it for range more than melee. If you're melee, yeah, sure, you're gonna do damage with it, but whatever, right? Physical damage to enemies in their path. If more than one shadow hits a target, the damage is reduced to 15% of the original value. While inside the area, skills change to shadow shift. When touching a shadow, shadow shift's cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds. Target base max HP shield and increases movement speed by 20% for 4 seconds. If the caster leaves the area, the circle disappears, right? I'll show you what it looks like in a second, right? And her passive grants basic attacks a 30% chance to trigger a shadow strike for 6 seconds, dealing 231 physical damage. Basic attacks, you see how this synergizes, and the cooldown on this passive is 0.8 seconds, so it's always happening. Basic attack damage bonuses affect damage, and basic attack critical hits can cause damage to crit. It's just super amplifier, super damage amplifier passive here. She's just the biggest DPS to use range. That's all I'm saying so far. So far, right? So this is how the kit pops off, because obviously I can't call it her kit because you can customize this game in so many builds. This is just the build that I've created that I found optimal, and shout outs to my guild member Mello, who was part of me in this discovery. And yeah, this shit is nuts. So we're gonna go and show you how it goes when you want to start a fight, or you engage in a fight, or running from a fight, whatever you're doing, right? You're gonna engage always with your attack speed buff, movement speed buff. Pop out the alt, that's your R, and then pop out your all those buttons. Press all of them. All of them. And every time you use your shadow shift in the circle, you gain an attack speed bonus for 60% for 6 seconds. So like stacking your alt, your shadow rift with your boots bonus gives you like triple attack speed bonus just with those two, right? And then add splinter shot as well. You're basically a Gatling gun. That's why it's like you gotta be careful of how much damage you're doing, and you use your alt to de-aggro because you're gonna get aggro. So make sure you got a tank with you or a healer with you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna kill things fast, but you're also capable of dying really fast as well, because she's not tanky. She's very squishy. Like, you're gonna get hit and half your HP is gonna disappear, but you're gonna kill everything in front of you before it gets close to you. So here we go. Basically, that's how you're gonna be moving throughout the whole thing. And every time you touch one of these shadows, you get a cooldown reduction, so you get to use it again, and you get the shield as well. So this is really, really good in PvP. But yeah, that's basically it as far as the guide and how her class plays with range build. Yo, if you like this, like you guys are showing love on the other video, make sure you show love on this video too. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and comment and all that. I'm enjoying this game. If I find another character I like and I want to make a build for, I will. But yeah, make sure you also show love on the Twitch too, because I streamed on this. I stream every day, but 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern. But if you are following me, you'll be notified when I do like wars, which do not happen during those times. They happen during like middays, but those aren't real streams. Those are just like streaming for the moment type streams. Type. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace.
I should focus on the bed, like my brother said. Heard you buying swag, get your fucking bread.